Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I am Liz Quinn, your star Scentsy consultant. So today what I have for you is my December melting basket, and it's going to be entitled My Very Favorite Festive Scents of All Time. I have so many wonderful memories with Scentsy, and at the very end of the video, I will give you my top 5 favorite festive scents of all time, a couple of which aren't Scentsy, but they're from earlier in my melting and burning experience as a person who just loves scent. So let's just dive right on in. First off, I have my Apile Oine, and the first one in it is Hollyberry Cinnamon, which is a really wonderful sort of smoky, suede hollyberry evergreen. There's a little bit of evergreen and gentle cinnamon spice scent. This one really strikes a beautiful balance between nostalgia and modern, and it's so good. It reminds me a little bit of my mother's favorite holiday scent of all time, which is from Yankee, which is called Holiday Sage. I don't have anything of that here on the table, but that is a scent of my childhood, and this has some similarity to that, so I enjoy melting this. And I hadn't had this in a long time. It showed up in clearance this summer. It's so good. So if you guys were able to get your hands on this, I would definitely recommend that you get this out. The hollyberry that's in here is one of those sort of antique vintage scent notes that I really enjoy at the holidays. The next one should be no surprise to anyone, and that is Very Snowy Spruce. This is our probably most popular, most crowd-pleasing tree scent, but it has so much amber. It's got pine cones, it has sweet sap, that even for the tree hater, I think that this would be a home run. It's a very good mixer. You can get it in a brick, and it's really, really nice. I'm sure for many people, this evokes a lot of trimming the tree memories, a lot of tree farm memories, and it's just a truly good scent. The next one that I have here on the table is the one that my Christmas tree is linked to. I wanted to come up with a wax to go with each of my trees. I have 3 of them, and I do promise you that I will get to my all house video where I talk about which, though you know the one that goes with the big tree, which scent goes with each tree and what warmers I have out and where I have things decorated to the nines. It's just everything has to be in place and it has to be the right day. So Black Forest Pine is the one that goes with my front room, and this is such a favorite. And I was honestly just melting a sample that my friend Robin gave me of Old School Christmas, which is from Teddy Bees. I'm telling you, this mixed with Cozy Fireside, to me, with my experience with Scentsy, is Old School Christmas. No wonder people love it. It is so good. So Black Forest Pine is smoked vanilla, peppered tangerine, and layers of deep, dark, woody, woodsy fir trees. And it's wonderful, and it is just a favorite. It stays in my club for forever and forever, and my best friend also loves it, although she came over on Friday for our annual gift exchange, although at this point she was a little busy and I was only able to give her her gift. But you know, when you have a home run with a longtime friend, they open their present and they cry. You know when you know someone so well and you're able to bless them. It's just awesome, and it really, really shows you that it is more blessed to give than it is to receive. But anyway, this is all about my best friend Jess, and it's all good. And she loved the tree, but her favorite one was the mossballs and mushrooms in the back room. So the next one is Season of Magic by Disney, and this is my favorite movie night scent. This is such a fun tree scent. It's sweet, it has a lot of sugar, it has a lot of kind of almost cartoonish, which I think is appropriate for Disney, berry smell, and then the tree isn't very authentic, but it's like a sugar-dipped Christmas tree. And it's a very happy scent. I haven't melted it yet this year, but I'm going to be getting down in the basement with my kids and watching some good old reruns of Mickey and Pluto, and especially Chip and Dale being bad, and it'll be great. The next one is the current reigning scent for me for the season, and that is Sleigh Ride. This bar is so good. This is the best fir tree scent since Farmhouse Fir, which I did not put in this basket because I talked about it so much in November, and you can get this one, so I figured it was more fair that I could put this in this month. And I think I put this one in last month too, I don't know. But wow, you guys, the cranberry, the little bit of woodsiness, kind of a fresh air woods, and the very good authentic fir tree in here. This is a home run for me. It is the best standout of the season bar for me personally. I'm clubbing this, and it's just really, really good. The next one that I have for being very festive. Now this is for me, old school Scentsy festivity. It is Iced Pine. This is a scent that either you love it or you hate it because it is strong pine. It is for some people cleaner, type pine, but wow, this just makes me think of the first couple years that I melted Scentsy, and the strength of this as just a kiss of peppermint. I loved it because I'm a tree lover and I have enjoyed it. I'm kind of sad that I didn't leave it in my club, but I've got a couple bars. And another thing, if you want one of the best mixes, do iced pine and around the campfire. It's very, very good, but that is good. Iced pine's also good with Winter's Eve, which was a brick last year. Another one here, which is totally festive, is Blue Christmas. This is an antique tree scent with a lot of attitude. It's got a ton of orange peel. It's got, oh wow, this is so good. This is like layers of complex old-fashioned Christmas goodness, like the Christmas box. For me, I have almost a Christmas basement on the storage side because I have so many things. But when I was a child, we had one large box from a dishwasher or something that got put in years ago. And it smelled like this. All of the good Christmas things were packed into the smell of Blue Christmas for me as a kid in that box. So nice, and that throws very well. But if you can't get Blue Christmas, this year we have Sugar Plum Berry, and the similarities are very strong. This one has less tree and more sugared plum fruit type things. It's really, really nice. I haven't melted this yet, but my memory is that it's fabulous, and comparing it to Blue Christmas, it really is just take out the fir tree and add yourself some sweet tart sugar plums, and it's a very, very similar base. Very Christmassy, very much reminds me of the book and the movie and the ballet of the Nutcracker. It's so good. The next one is a scent that I would associate with holiday parties for sure, and that is good old Icicles and Evergreen, which I hope you still have your brick of because they discontinued it, unfortunately. This was another scent, kind of like Very Snowy Spruce, where everyone really got along with this very well. It's so good. This is much sweeter. It's got some eucalyptus, a lot of sugar crystals. I think there's a little bit of apple in here and some really nice soft pine. Very, very good smell, and I will be melting more of that maybe when I have some people over on Friday. So the next category I want to move into is going to be spice and bakery. And for me, there aren't too many of those that are specifically Christmassy, but I've got a few here. The first one, I do melt this more of the year than Christmas, but I'm telling you, Cozy Chai to me really does smell like gingerbread. And it is just such a warm, happy scent. I definitely associate it with entertaining and just having people over. I remember one time we had a whole church group over here, and the lady could not, it wasn't even Christmas, I think it was winter, could not get over what she was smelling, and it sent her home with some of my club bars of Cozy Chai. It's just so good. So it's got all of that warmth and spice that you think of when you think of having a good time with people coming over, and you've given them a wonderful dinner and now they're enjoying their coffee, and it's just happiness in a bar, and that is Cozy Chai to me. The next one is more of a private moment, I think, and that is hazelnut frosting. To me, hazelnut frosting is like getting up in the morning, your home is clean, which it doesn't happen unless I do the cleaning, but your home is clean, you have more than 10 minutes to sit down, enjoy your cup of coffee, stare at the tree, which is sort of like a fish tank moment for me. I always do the twinkly lights in my tree. I don't know if you guys can really see how those are kind of pulsating down the middle. And I like to just sit with my coffee, a scent like this. Maybe if it's a particular morning close to Christmas, I'd have a couple of Christmas cookies. And you just have that quiet time. And hazelnut frosting is a festive scent, but it's more like that. It's so good with the nutty, toasty hazelnuts and the rich, creamy frosting and a little pinch of ginger. It's an excellent scent. I will always keep this in my club. My bars are old enough that I think that they perform quite well, and I'm really, really happy with them. The next one is one I want to see back in the scents of the season, and that is Gingerbread Hugs. And this is, I think, the best gingerbread Scentsy ever made. Like, it is unapologetically spicy gingerbread, and this is all I have left, and I've just got to melt it this year. It is such a wonderful baking cookies moment because we always do a gingerbread of some kind with my mom. And this definitely takes me to rolling out the dough and cutting out the cookies and messing up the frosting, because that's one thing we're not real great at. We're not real great at frosting the cookies, but this is wonderful. The next one that's in this pile is, I think, the best bakery scent that Scentsy has made for a nostalgic holiday. And I will melt this any time of the year, but Saint Nickerdoodle, which they have had in the past, but they brought it back last year, Wow, you guys. And we go to Frankenmuth every year. You hear me talk about it all year long. This is the scent of a Frankenmuth Christmas for me. It is this wonderful little Bavaria, kind of a tourist town with the world's biggest Christmas store. It's called Bronner's. And we're actually packing up our whole family this Saturday. It's going to be a very emotional video too. Every time the holidays come around, you know how I am. We're going to take my daughter and her new boyfriend, first boyfriend, wonderful young man, very godly young man, and my other daughter and her best friend, and we've never done that before with that kind of a group. We're gonna take them up, we're gonna stuff them full of chicken at Zender's, we're going to walk through Bronner's, we're going to have a fabulous family time, and this is the scent that would go with that day out. So, very festive with the powdered sugar, the really nice, almost Dutch apples, and that flaky, melting pastry crust. Oh, so strudely. So St. Nickerdoodle is definitely the scent of the holidays for our family when we go out. The next one is caramel chestnut. And for me, chestnuts are such a holiday scent. I like them October, November, December, January, but they are most November and December for me. It's so nice. It's just really, really rich with the caramel and the chestnut. It's mostly just those two notes, maybe some vanilla, but it gives you that homey quality of a really nice, like Thanksgiving sort of a day. And I really have enjoyed this. I've got several bricks. I don't know when I'm ever going to see the bottom of them, which is fine because it's also in my club. That is a scent I never want to run out of. So that's pretty much everything for standard bakery. What about orange spice, which for me, pomanders are so quintessential to the holidays. I love to make them. They are the little oranges where, I mean, you could use any size orange, but I usually use the little guys like your clementines, and you put a whole bunch of cloves in them. And then it smells like this wonderful real orange and real clove spice mix. And if you do a whole basket of them, they're beautiful, and they scent the whole room in the most authentic way. So anything where I can get close to that makes me feel very Christmassy. So of course, sweet orange pomanders at the top of my list. Does it exactly smell like a pomander? No. Honestly, another one of these I think smells closer to the real thing. But this is the best holiday, just heavy spice scent with the cinnamon, the clove, the orange peels, the everything. And this is close to my heart, and I love melting it all fall and winter long. That is sweet orange pomander. The next one I think is the closest to a true pomander scent, and that is Wassail Wonderland. I love this, and it really smells like the juicy orange with the clove, and then I almost always put fresh cut pine or balsam, or actually I really don't have any balsam. It's usually white pine and boxwood or cedar. And I know this has fir in it. Oh my gosh. So you layer the oranges. I've got a bowl of them in the back. Most of them don't have cloves in them yet though. And you put the real evergreens, then you put the oranges. They've got the cloves in them. The juice is coming out, is mixing with the, oh, it's so good, you guys. And Wassail Wonderland really evokes that for me. I have tons of it. It's one of those bars, like you couldn't get rid of it in clearance, so I kept picking it up, and it is a favorite of mine. So then this year we produced Orange Spice and Everything Nice. This is a really nice scent. I just like more spice with my orange. But if you don't, this really smells like a Christmas orange punch. It smells like maybe a cinnamon roll that has that orange frosting, you know, the tube of those that sometimes we would only do that at the holidays. This is very, very good, and I think it's very giftable, and I think it's worth an honorable mention that this is an incredibly festive scent. So then I've got a couple more kind of really heavy-hitting bricks, one of our current ones and one from several years ago. Man, Holly Jolly Cider. This one in my best of the season video, if you haven't watched that, Robin H and I did a collab last week. This is my most company-worthy hosting a party Scentsy scent that is currently available. And it's fantastic. It is soft. It's got soft evergreen, soft, nice apple cider and spices in a way that I think this is the perfect party scent. This is another one I might consider having in my home on Friday when I have some friends over. So, so good. Medium throw, not going to overwhelm your room, but very good. And then a few years ago, we had Crimson Berry Christmas. This is a fantastic scent. It throws very well. It has apple, it's got cherry, it's got berry, it's got spice. It's a lot like 'Tis the Season from BBW, and it is a fantastic one. I hope that we get this back eventually for Scents at the Season. So now I've got a whole bunch more bars over here that are more in the spicy mulled wine, that kind of a thing vein. Oh, and then one that really should have been in my pine and spruce pile, but it's a different color, so I didn't categorize it right. Red berry and spruce. To me, this evokes walking into a greenhouse at Christmas. And that is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. You go into a place like, for me, Bordines. It's full of beautiful Christmas poinsettias. They have the fresh cut greenery. Oh, it's just heavenly. And this really evokes that. So it's got cranberry and raspberry and really good authentic blue spruce. And it's just crisp and fresh and gorgeous and light, and I love it. So now let's get into the like deep and spicy kind of deals. So this year they pulled another cranberry scent that I'll talk about later from the catalog and put in cranberry and cardamom. But this is such a nice spice and fruit scent. I think it would be excellent for any holiday event, because it's tailored, it's kind of subtle. I think it has white cranberry and cherry and cardamom. It's really good. And it almost reminds me a little bit of red licorice on the bottom, but this is excellent paired with sleigh ride. This is excellent with so many things, or just by itself. Very, very good. Very festive scent. Another one was in a holiday trio a while ago, and it's called Joy and Wonder. And this is like a deep, mysterious, spiced mulled wine smell. It also reminds me of going to midnight mass. It has that sort of mysterious quality that's so nice. And it is incensey, it's wine, it's deep, it's very good, and reminds me more of those sacred, solemn moments around Christmas itself. The next one I've got here is similar, and I like it even better, and that is spiced berries. And to me, this is the bar that evokes most the Christmas story itself, of the three wise men coming to pay tribute to baby Jesus with the gold, the frankincense, and the myrrh. And this has that really deep, very the storybook quality, you know, when you read the beautiful pages that have lovely illustrations, you see the Christmas star, you see the exotic camels, and of course it's a figment of the imagination of the artist and the author. We don't really know what the three kings were like, but you can imagine that this had something to do with what their retinue was like. And it just makes me think of why Christmas is so sacred and special, and that is because of Jesus. So that is a beautiful smell. The next one is mulled cider and spice. This is a party waiting to happen in a bar. This is a party bomb. It's so strong. It's so in your face. It's like apple cider with spices and sweetness to the most powerful degree you could pump it out. And I love it. So it's kind of like Holly Jolly cider was the redo of mulled cider and spice, because this was too much and people didn't love it. And this one is more normal, more medium in all ways. So the next one, I think a lot of people probably miss this bar. Be Merry. They pulled this from the catalog, and I know people are very sad about that. And it's just so good. I think this may be a candidate for Scents of the Season in a couple years, like some of the others have been, that have been such good Christmas, just classic scents. This is so vintage. It's got berries, it's got a little bit of tree, it has all the things that you want to just feel like it's Christmas Eve and it's time to hang the stockings, and you know beautiful surprises will be there in the morning. That is what this scent does for me. It's so good. So then next, I've got a pile of spicy stuff. Oh, and then a couple things that'll be more like minty and fresh. I do have a couple of those that I like because I know a lot of you love your mint at Christmas time. So cinnamon pine cones is the best of the sappy, the balsam, and the cinnamon. So good. This is available right now. It is one of the most Christmassy scents, reminds you of a craft store. It's quintessential, but it's also special. It's a real home run. The next one is a good old cinnamon bear. And for me, this is just a scent of Christmas. It's the scent of the little cinnamon candies in the baking rack. It's the scent of happiness in that wonderful bowl of potpourri from your childhood, where you look at the cinnamon sticks and wonder how that ends up in your baking stuff. You know, as a little kid, you just don't know. That's what cinnamon bear does for me, and it's just so good. The next one is Christmas cottage cider, and this is part of our current Scentspirations collection. I love this. It is very holiday to me. It's very cozy. It's sort of like a night in, and it's just beautiful. So the next thing that's here on my table after our Christmas cottage cider is actual Christmas cottage. I'm gonna put down my coffee over here. So Christmas cottage itself evokes every spicy, wonderful, warm, almost storytelling moment at Christmas. It's extremely festive. I have had this out for parties and it gets almost a little bit strong, so typically I will use this more for family or Christmas Eve. but it is a party waiting to happen in a bar with the sweet Valencia oranges, the raspberries, and the cloves. It's very good. So I guess that I forgot that this was a bakery scent, but I think that our new Rum Pum Plum is really festive. This really marries having people over with baking. It's such a good smell. So it has the sweet, juicy plum. It's not really spicy, but it's got that nice bubbly warmth that you would expect with spices at Christmas, and good butter cookie in the background. It's really nice, you guys. It's very homey, and it's definitely very festive. So then here is my favorite cranberry scent, and I am sad that I did not club it, and that is Very Merry Cranberry. This used to be my go-to, have people over, use it for a party smell. It's so nice. It's just cranberry with a little bit of cedar, and it was always crowd-pleasing and always very, very happy. So another one that I love a lot is Cranberry Garland. I associate this the most with Thanksgiving. I really like how this has almost like a sage quality and herbal, and then the nice pine cones and beautiful cranberry. And this to me is the most authentic when it comes to almost like a cranberry sauce. Although there's all that woodiness going on, this has that sharp edible cranberry note. It's very good. I want this back in Scents of the Season too. It is excellent. Now here's one that we had last year, and this would have been a really good scene setting party scent if they'd kept it in the catalog, and that's Cranberry Orange Cider. And I was actually kind of shocked that this didn't make it into the catalog. It's so nice. It's a good blend of orange, a little bit of summer spices, and lots of festive cranberry. And it's a really good medium level, long lasting scent. This is my last bar. So for those of you that like things merry and minty, Candy Cane Buttercream is beautiful. And I think for the right holiday party, maybe one where you were doing a cookie exchange, it would be perfect to set the scene. It's not super strong, but it has a really, really good buttery buttercream background and just enough mint to be enjoyable and smooth. And this is in the catalog right now. And you could pair this with our now it's December, our November scent of the month, which has a lot of butter cookie and mint and sugar crystals too. This one's a little bit more mellow, and I think I like it a little bit better. So then we have one that was a classic for winter for years. They took it out last year and they brought it back, and that is Snowberry. And for some people, I bet this is your Christmas scent because it is so unique. It's festive in the sense of, to me, it's very wintry. It's almost like New Year's and beyond, where you enjoy being out in the woods. But it also has this little zing from the loganberry and the peppermint and the strawberry and the cinnamon. There's a little bit of cinnamon in here. That is very party worthy if you want a pretty strong scent. And this is good as a car bar. It's really, really nice. So Snowberry is a classic from Scentsy, and it's a keeper. And then if you were going to have an elegant evening with people that came over maybe to toast the new year, or you wanted to have like a fancy dress kind of a party for Christmas, I think Silver Bells is so classy. It doesn't have quite that jovial lay around on the couch and, have lots of popcorn and drink hot cocoa deal going on. But it is very, very nice. It has caramelized like pears and brown sugar and vanilla and candy canes. It's so good. And it's so tailored and classy and lovely, and I really enjoy it. So now we are down to the best of the best for me personally, and I could not find my candle of winter by Bath & Body Works. I still have a couple old kind of mauled, chewed up candles where I'll scoop it and I will actually melt that. It's not the best throw, but I need the scent. Nobody makes one. So if we can ever find a dupe for winter, if any of you find any kind of a vendor that does that, please let me know in the comments. I want a dupe for Bath & Body Works winter because that brings me back to when it was first married, and we would have huge candles of that going in the house. Like they had at Bath & Body Works at one point, even these huge snowflake candles that had multiple wicks that you could have out for days. It was amazing. So that scent, if you're not familiar with it, has like clementine, smoked woods, these ethereal, just amazing qualities where it's festive, but it's intense, it's smoky, it's mysterious, all at the same time. And it probably is, other than the bar that I will talk about, my favorite scent for the holidays. I just have a hard time using it appropriately anymore. So that one was an honorable mention I do not have here. Now my husband has a favorite scent of all time, which brings him back to probably his teens. And that is Balsam and Cedar by Yankee. And I have to say, you want to talk hardcore old school Christmas feels, this is incredible. And from everything else I showed you, I love tree. There is something about this. It's so 1980s, 1990s. It brings me to all of the wonderful Christmas shopping that my parents and I would do in little towns. We'd go to all sorts of places because my folks loved to go to Christmas bazaars, and they liked to go to little mom and pop shops. And this reminds me of all of that. Plus, getting newly married, and my husband loved it when I would melt the tart of this in our apartment. And then here at our house is so good. So this is a very, very classic, soapy, deep balsam and sprucey smell. So good. And cedar. So the next one is something where I got really excited to finally find in vendor wax, one of my favorite candles of all time. This is the Chestnut and Clove candle. I have several. This is very old. This is 2015, guys. This is vintage Christmas, or vintage Thanksgiving Christmas season. I love this smell. It is the holidays to me. I have distinct memories of decorating my red hutch with Amy Grant blasting in the background, and it was before I had to give up burning candles, and decorating everything for Christmas when my kids were really little. This one has cedar, cloves, and happy Thanksgiving memories, and chestnut. Okay, so it doesn't tell me all that much. I don't know what it is about this smell, but they don't even make it anymore at Bath & Body Works as far as I know. I could melt this all fall and winter season long and never get sick of it. And I was over the moon when I just got my Teddy Bees haul for Christmas, and Christmas passed. I went into the RTS and I bought more. It was so good. This has holiday cinnamon, fallen leaves, crisp apples, crushed pine needles, and hints of sweet balsam. And somehow it is close enough to chestnut and clove that it just made me tear up. It is so good. It's a little bit different, but it has the same soul. It gives you that old-fashioned, nuanced, layered, nutty, piney, I don't know, something here that made me so happy, and I am going to happily melt the rest of this year and save the other ones. I got a couple more tubs coming in the mail in the future. It just made me so happy. So then another one that I thought was really fun that I appreciated. It wasn't quite as like wow as Christmas passed, but this, where you're doing a dupe for Bath & Body Works with this particular one from Teddy Bees. Vanilla balsam and the perfect holiday. Fresh cut pine, cinnamon sugar, toasted marshmallows layered with balsam fir, frosted vanilla, and snow-capped pine needles. Pop this thing in the warmer and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a dupe for Bath & Body Works right there. And mostly you get that fresh balsam. It just hits ya. And that's one of the things I loved about that candle. And that brings me back to like 2000, 2010, 2015. When my kids were younger, and it was just, it's a good time. It's the best of times and the worst of times when you're raising your children and there are a lot of demands, but there's also such sweet times at Christmas where you would scoop them up in your lap and you'd read them a book, or when you would take them places, the wonder of Christmas would still strike your children. And that is what this gave me when I put it in the warmer, and I'm gonna melt a lot more. So then the grand finale, the last but not least, my 3 favorite nostalgic scentsy scents for Christmas. These are so festive that I struggle to melt enough of them because I don't want to ruin their specialness. And those are going to be the triumvirate for me, the 3. Homestead Holiday, which is current, and it is so good, you guys. This is antique, this is classic, this is nostalgia in a bar. It's so homey. This is another like night in kind of a thing, or go to the craft bazaar kind of a smell. It's fantastic. It's got blood orange, fir needle, and cinnamon stick, and it is old-fashioned and nostalgic. Read The Night Before Christmas with this. Or, another book that I absolutely love is called Mr. Willoughby's Christmas Tree. And if you guys can find that and you have little kids, it is the best. So this is very, very good. Then, you guys are gonna be shocked. I have a tie for the best scentsy scent of all time for me now. I cannot separate Sweet Orange and Evergreen from Cozy Fireside as far as my favorite scent. Cozy Fireside takes the award for longest standing favorite, most nostalgic scent, but both of these nail every childhood memory that I have of my parents and going to Frankenmuth, which that didn't start with my husband and I, that started when I was a little tiny baby girl. Everything good about Christmas. These 2 give that to me. So I hope that you picked up some Sweet Orange and Evergreen in our last sale that had it. Oh, you guys, it's so good. It's like mistletoe from Yankee, which is another strongly nostalgic scent for me, but this is such a good performer in my home. I put it in the basement the other day and my husband was so happy to have that. He loved it. This has a little bit of the sweet orange, lots and lots of layers of evergreen and mistletoe. It is perfect. It's not so much Christmas tree as it is all the good Christmas evergreen scents rolled into one bar. It's extraordinary and I love it. And then of course, the queen of all time, Cozy Fireside, which is like these cheap red candles that my mom used to have. She'd put them on the mantle and they smelled like this. And it's got ginger, it's not really smoky, but it's got this glowy fireside thing and lots of spices. Oh, you guys, it's so good. So that is everything that is very festive for me, and I would love to know what your absolute favorite have to have ride or die festive scent is. I hope you've enjoyed my December melting basket. Have an amazing, happy, truly blessed, truly stressless Christmas season, everybody. God bless.